Good afternoon and welcome to Haynes and Carolyn Hill Stadium on the campus of the University of North Georgia for Super Regional action here in the Southeast, pitting the number 3 seeded Armstrong State Pirates against the number 1 seed North Georgia Nighthawks. Thomas Kendrick with you here for game 1 as we see a rematch from last year's Super Regional Classic between Armstrong and North Georgia. This Armstrong team in 2016 were advanced to the Division II College Softball Championship as they were able to take 2 of 3 from North Georgia on this field. They won the final 2 games, including Game 3 in 8 innings. They got a 2-run home run from Autumn Parrish, who will be in the lineup for the Pirates today, and that allowed them to beat Courtney Poole in North Georgia by a 5-3 score in extra innings. This series will feature an Armstrong State team that is modeled much like the one we saw last year. You'll have Jane Traska on the mound, who is a very good pitcher for Armstrong State. She threw a no-hitter against Young Harris in regional action last weekend, and the Pirates are able to hit 7 homers in their final 2 games to advance, and that will be a key to look out for in this series. Armstrong comes in with a total of 77 home runs, and they got 3 homers in that Game 3, the deciding game last year, to give them that 5-3 win. So we'll see if they can come up with the power. We know they've got the pitching, but it'll be a different North Georgia pitcher that they face in the circle today. They had the dominant Courtney Poole, who was one of the best pitchers to ever enter the circle in Division II. But this year they'll get Kylie Smith, who is dominant in her own right, but not the overpowering major strikeout pitcher you saw for Poole last year. Smith comes in with an ERA of 1.3 and over 30 wins this year, but she's not going to overpower you. She's more of a Rembrandt, if you will, a Maddox-type pitcher for North Georgia. Hits her location and is able to change speeds, and that's how she is able to get hitters out and get strikeouts. North Georgia will look for timely hitting that they got during the regional from leadoff hitter Sydney Sprague, hit a 2-run homer and a 2-0 win to get them to the championship. Hannah McSwain, who will be at third, able to hit a 2-run homer in the top of the 8th to give the Nighthawks a win in the deciding game. We're going to go to short break. When we come back, first pitch and starting lineups for you here on the Nighthawks Sports Network.
I am a brother.
I'm a freshman.
I am an artist.
I am an entrepreneur.
I am a civilian.
I am a junior.
I am an ambassador.
I am a music teacher.
我是国际学生.
I am a commuter.
I'm an actor.
I am an intern.
I am a researcher.
I am a senior.
I am an athlete.
I am a veteran.
I am a sister.
I am a sophomore.
I am a singer.
I am an educator.
I am a scientist.
I am a resident.
I am a writer.
I am a leader.
I am a cadet.
I am a volunteer.
I am a musician.
I am a tutor.
We are UNG.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
Enough.
Yeah, I'm over it.
We shouldn't need commercials to tell you we're powerful.
No thanks.
Genders don't play sports. Athletes do.
Think of the NCAA as a marching band. We wouldn't stop with halftime. We'd be full-time, celebrating student athletes in everything they do. Okay, so don't think of us as a marching band. Think of us as a spirit squad. Well, just know we're always there for student athletes.
And welcome back to the Hill as we are just about set for first pitch here on the Nighthawks Sports Network. Got starting lineups first for the visiting Armstrong State Pirates. Leading it off, playing left, number 1, Natalie Corbin. Batting second, playing third, number 20, Katie Collins. Batting third behind the plate, number 8, Logan Harrell. Batting fourth on the mound, in the circle, number 11, Jane Traska. Batting fifth, Designated player number 7, Autumn Parrish, batting 6th. Playing first, number 12, Hannah Reppert. That ball hit to short. Sprague, well glove, throw to first just in time. Had a little bit of trouble getting it out of the glove, but able to get a 6-3 ground out of Corbin to start the ball game for the Nighthawks. Finish that lineup up. Batting 7th. Playing short, number 15, Macy Coleman, batting 8th. At second, number 14, Connor Weaver, batting 9th. In center, number 19, Tasia Williams. And it'll be Morgan Duff who will be in right and be the flex today as that ball is fouled off down the third base line by Katie Collins. For North Georgia, left to right in the outfield, it'll be Lexi Duncan in left, Steph Hartness in center, Kaylin Anthony in right. At the hot corners for the Nighthawks, at third, Hannah McSwain. At first, Jessica Finch up the middle. Second, Jordan Deep. Short, Sydney Sprague, who's already got a put out today. Shelby Hammondtree behind the plate with Kylie Smith. And Smith comes in with a 31-5 record, an ERA of 1.18, so even lower than that 1.3 as that ball hit high and deep to center field and way out of here. And a home run for Katie Collins, second batter of the game, and that'll be something the Nighthawks will have to try to avoid to advance in this super regional. The wind was blowing south-southeast at 5 miles an hour to start this ball game off, and didn't need much help from the wind there as Kylie Smith is greeted with a solo homer over the raised fence and center. It'll be 205 down the lines here at Haynes and Carolyn Hill Stadium, 210 to the alleys and 220 to straight away center. And this Armstrong team looking up and down the lineup. We've got 5 players with double-digit home runs. You've got 2 more with 8 homers. So a team that can really hit the ball over the fence, and Katie Collins hits her 12th homer of the year, RBI number 36, and North Georgia already behind here by a 1-0 score. It was the Nighthawks who got off to the good start last year in the super regional matchup. They were able to win the first game by a 4-0 score. But Armstrong came back and won game 2, 4-2. And the final game by a 5-3 score in 8 innings. So the count here, a ball and a strike on the number 3 hitter, Logan Harrell. Harrell, a .353 hitter with 12 homers, 39 RBIs. And that pitch missed for ball 2. So the count, 2 balls and a strike. So for Smith, that's her 11th homer of the year given up in 237 or so innings as that ball is ripped foul down the right field line to count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Armstrong had gone off to the slow start last year, they were able to get off to the quick start here in this ball game. These two teams have actually played this season. Had a doubleheader here in Dahlonega. And was back on March 5th. So Armstrong had got the win 3-1 in 8 innings in game 1, but North Georgia were able to battle back and win game 2 by a 7-2 score. As the 2-2 here is popped up foul over the screen, and it'll land in the stands. Count will remain even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's actually Logan Harrell who was able to hit a solo homer to right center. North Georgia was able to get a run back to tie it up in the 4th, but in the 8th, it was Autumn Parrish who were once again able to hit a 2-run homer against the Nighthawks in the 8th inning to give Armstrong the win. So being behind due to a solo homer, nothing new here for Kylie Smith, who went 8 innings that day, gave up 5 hits, 3 runs, 3 of them earned. She didn't get the start in game 2. That ball is hit in the air to right field. Anthony back on the track, able to make the catch at the wall and reaching up. That ball may or may not have gotten out of here, but Anthony able to make a nice catch there. And at 5'7", is able to reach up and make a catch. So Harrell very, very close to hitting another homer here in a game 1. To finish that thought, Amber Johns got the start in game 2 that day. Went 7 innings, only gave up 2 runs. First pitch here low and in for ball 1. Not sure if we'll see Johns in the game 2 tomorrow. You'd have to think if Kylie Smith's able to throw well in this game 1, she'll have a day off and be able to throw the game 2 tomorrow. She threw something like 13 2/3 innings, 174 pitches in day 2 of the regional to get the Nighthawks to the championship game and eventually the, if necessary, game. But she gives up a solo homer here in the top of the 7th inning. And it was Katie Collins who was able to go deep to center. She gives Armstrong a 1-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the 1st here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% would go pro. That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs. No private jets. No fan clubs. No Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub, with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
Back here in the bottom of the 1st inning, Jane Traska for Armstrong State will enter the circle with a 1-0 lead, and she'll face a North Georgia lineup that looks like this. Leading off, wearing number 21, the shortstop Sydney Sprague. Batting second in center, wearing number 9, Steph Hartness. Batting third, the designated player, 00, Alicia Frierson. Batting fourth at first, number 10, Jessica Finch. Batting fifth in right, number 5, Kaylin Anthony. Batting sixth behind the plate, number 8, Shelby Hammontree. Batting 7th and left, number 33, Lexi Duncan. Batting 8th and 2nd, number 32, Jordan Deep. And batting 9th, rounding out this lineup, number 7 at 3rd, Hannah McSwain. And North Georgia will come to the plate here, already down 1-0, thanks to a Katie Collins solo homer in the 1st. And they'll face a pitcher that is very, very hot for this Armstrong team. Traska comes in with a 16-7 record, of ERA of 1.33, as we mentioned, threw a no-hitter, only the first no-hitter that went 7 innings for Armstrong since April 6, 2002, and got it in an elimination game. So this Armstrong team had much the same road as North Georgia did. Both lost their first game, but both were able to battle back and win their next 4 to make it to the Super Regional. As the 1-1 delivery here is swung on a miss. And the count, ball and 2 strikes. That no-hitter, Traska was able to go 7 innings, only gave up a walk, the only base runner of the game, so very, very close to throwing a perfect game for Armstrong as well. Tells you how good she's been throwing coming into this ball game. And the 2-2 delivery outside for ball 3. So Sprague able to work the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Traska got the start against North Georgia in game 1 of that doubleheader. Went 8 innings, gave up 5 hits, no earned runs, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. So had a good day against the Nighthawks there. She'll have to have another good one here as that ball hit to second. And a throw made by Weaver to Reppert for out number 1. Steph Hartness will step to the plate, anticipating a pitcher's duel, and that's what we got in game 1 earlier in the year between Kylie Smith and Jane Traska. And Steph Hartness, as we mentioned, steps to the plate, pitch low for ball 1. Hartness had herself a pretty good regional for North Georgia, comes in batting .455 with 12 homers, 48 RBIs. She went 12 for 16 with 5 doubles, 2 triples, and 4 RBIs, scored 5 runs. So she is hitting the ball well for the Nighthawks, but bounces this one back to Traska on the mound, and another ground out retires the first two in the inning for North Georgia as Traska is wheeling and dealing early as Alicia Frierson will come to the plate. Frierson, a .369 hitter with 3 homers, 38 RBIs. So Armstrong in the top half of the inning, then we're able to hit the ball well against Smith. North Georgia not able to get off to as good a start with a couple of weak groundouts to start the bottom half of the first inning, but the Nighthawks no stranger to being behind. They lost game 1 of that regional and had to battle back the rest of the way. So used to being behind the 8 ball in postseason play, but a second consecutive ground out to the pitcher will do it for the Nighthawks in the bottom half of the first inning. So Traska able to mow through North Georgia, retire them in order, and we are quickly through an inning complete. It's Armstrong 1, North Georgia nothing here on the Nighthawks Sports Network.
Defining moments. Championship dreams. Share the experience with your family and friends. The 2017 NCAA Division II Softball Championship, May 25th through 29th at Moyer Park in Salem, Virginia. Visit ncaa.com/tickets for your tickets today.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance, a monster dunk or no-look pass, and cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success and prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
Five, 6, 7 due up for the Pirates here in the top of the second inning. We're able to jump on Kylie Smith and take a 1-0 lead on a Katie Collins homer to straightaway center. And it'll be the hero of the Super Regional played between these two teams last year, Autumn Parrish, to come to the plate. First pitch is ripped to third. McSwain able to make the catch on the line for out number 1. Quickly, 1 up, 1 down for the Nighthawks in the top of the second inning. And now to bring to the plate Hannah Reppert. First pitch to her over the inside corner for strike 1. And Reppert comes in leading the team in homers with 1437 driven in at .317 average. 0-1 is ripped foul down the third base line, and the count, no balls and 2 strikes. So it's going to be a murderer's row that Smith will have to face in the Super Regional. Got Collins and Harrell with double-digit homers. Got Parrish, who just grounded out with double-digit homers as well. Traska in the middle of the lineup, the only one without double digits, but has driven in 29, does have 8 homers, so she has some pretty good power as well. And you've got Macy Coleman on deck with 12, so really, really tough to find a place to get an out in this lineup where if you make a mistake, they could hit it out of the park, as the 0-2 is high for ball 1. Smith is going to have to use every bit of that savvy in the circle. Going to have to hit those spots and change speeds and try to keep this Armstrong team off balance. The pitch here is swung on and missed. Going to have to make pitches like that. Use her changeup and the rise ball a lot more often as this Armstrong team comes to the plate with one thing in mind, and that's to do the most damage possible with a swing. Macy Coleman, a .329 hitter with 12 homers and 35 RBIs, comes to the plate. First pitch here over the outside corner for strike 1. Looks like Smith able to get into a groove here in the top of the second after she was able to navigate the rest of the order after giving up that Solo homer to the second batter. The 0-1 is popped foul, and quickly no balls and 2 strikes. That's something, too, you have to look out for in this series. Kylie Smith on the mound, a freshman in this spot last year. You had, as we mentioned, Courtney Poole, who's actually in the dugout as a graduate assistant, who was experienced, had been really, really successful up to the point. He's had something like 53 wins last year for North Georgia. So you had that experience in the circle, and here you've got a freshman in the circle, but not only that, a freshman behind the plate as well. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Smith, though, able to settle down and show a little bit of veteran savvy there to strike out the final 2 hitters at the top of the second. And we head to the bottom half. It's still Armstrong 1, North Georgia nothing here on the Nighthawks Sports Network.
This is why we love sports. It's in the way they play, free from the pressures and all the money talk. Playing for simply the love of the game, where everyone has a shot at their definition of success on and off the field. This is what we love about sports, and what we can still love about college sports.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
North Georgia will send 4, 5, 6 to the plate. Jessica Finch, Kaylin Anthony, Shelby Hammondtree, as they try to pick up their first base runner of the game. Finch has been inserted into the cleanup hitter spot in the order during the postseason and really paid off in regional play. She's able to raise her average to 250, but went 5 for 16 with 4 RBIs in the regional. Was able to drive in runs in that spot in the order, and also one of those players that was on the field for North Georgia last year in that Armstrong State Super Regional. So a little bit of experience here in the middle of the lineup, and it seems like she always saves her best hitting for the postseason. 3-time Peach Belt Conference All-Tourney team in her career. As that pitch is hit up the middle and gloved by Weaver. The throw to first not going to be in time. So there's Finch able to get on for the Nighthawks, and as we were saying, seems like she saves her best hitting for the end of the season. In 2015, when the Nighthawks won the national championship, she was named to the D2 Division Championship All-Tourney team. She's 3 for 7 in Peach Belt Conference tourney play again this year. So really coming on at the end of the season. She and another hitter at the bottom of the North Georgia lineup, Hannah McSwain, really hitting their groove at the right time. As we'll have an early pinch runner for North Georgia, Allison Neely at first, and Kaylin Anthony coming to the plate. Anthony able to go 4 for 15 with a couple of RBIs in the regional. Both of those RBIs came with 2 outs, so these 2 of her hits, both of them were RBI singles in clutch times, as she lays down the bunt there and laid it down too hard. Collins charging in from third, able to make the easy catch and throw to second to get the lead runner. So Neely cut down for North Georgia. Anthony able to reach on the fielder's choice, and Shelby Hammondtree will come to the plate. Hammondtree comes in a .304 hitter with 10 homers, 42 RBIs. Had a couple of RBIs on a solo homer and a ground roll RBI double in the regional for the Nighthawks. She was able to show her power a little bit, but it was sort of feast or famine with her. 3 for 18 in that regional with 3 extra base hits. Went 1 for 6 against this Armstrong team earlier in the year when the Nighthawks faced them. 0-1 delivery here is hit off the handle, but it'll land foul. And so it'll be 0-2. Hammondtree will still be alive in this at bat. But a little bit of difference in style of play as we've seen in the ball game. Armstrong were able to get their run on a solo homer, and North Georgia able to get a single up the middle. Tried to lay down the sacrifice bunt to get the runner over, and that's something you'll see from these two teams as Hammondtree swings and misses there for strike two. North Georgia not able to execute with their chance here in the bottom of the second. And they really struggled to score runs in the regional outside of a couple of games. They had 5 runs against Limestone in the if necessary game, 2 runs and 1 run against North Greenville. As that ball hit to third, the throw to first is going to be over the head of the first baseman. Heading to third and rounding is Anthony. She'll hold up there. Heading to second is Duncan. So it'll be an error on Collins at third. Threw the ball over the head of Reppert at first, and that allows North Georgia to send runners to second and third as we have 2 away here in the bottom of the second inning, and it'll be Jordan Deep to come to the plate. First pitch here to Deep, swing and a miss, fouled it off. Jordan comes in a 188 hitter on the year with 6 homers, 15 RBIs, 1 for 12 in the regional, so she really struggled at the plate. That 1 for 12 was part of a 0 for 20 streak for Deep, so she was retired 20 straight times, broke out of that in the last game, but hits that ball off the end of the bat, and Traska able to make the catch and the throw to first for out number 3. So Armstrong makes it interesting with their defense, make an error, but North Georgia unable to capitalize on that. We're through 2 complete here at Haynes and Carolyn Hill Stadium. It's still 1-0 Pirates here on the Nighthawks Sports Network.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieved a lot of the financial burden.
Think of the NCAA as a marching band. We wouldn't stop with halftime. We'd be full-time, celebrating student athletes in everything they do. Okay, so don't think of us as a marching band. Think of us as a spirit squad. Well, just know we're always there for student athletes.
8-9, then the top of the order, 2 up for Armstrong here in the top of the third inning to face Kylie Smith. It'll be Connor Weaver to lead it off, and Smith in the circle is able to sit down the Pirates in order with a couple of Ks in that top of the second inning. After Armstrong were able to get the solo homer in the top of the first inning and lead it by a 1-0 score. A run, a hit, and an error for the Pirates. No runs, a hit, no errors for North Georgia. And Smith misses just off the plate for his second consecutive pitch. And the count 2 balls and no strikes. Connor Weaver comes into this game a 296 hitter with a homer and 17 RBIs. And the pitch there finds zone for strike 1. In fact, Weaver and Natalie Corbin at the top of the lineup, the only 2 hitters in this Armstrong State lineup that haven't hit multiple homers. 2-1 pitch finds the outside corner, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's always nice if you're head coach when your number 9 hitter, who Tasia Williams on deck is, can come up with a pretty good average of .328, but also hits 8 homers. So just a little bit of a glimpse into how much power is up and down this Armstrong State lineup. Wind continues to whip here at the hill as it looks like it's blowing out to right center. So that'll favor Armstrong State. The 2-2 pitch high and away for ball 3. means Smith will have to keep the ball on the ground as much as possible. It's a nice day here. It's mostly cloudy. You can see parts of the sky, but that means it'll keep the sun off of us for the most part. Smith able to make the catch and throw to first for out number 1. Felt like 82 degrees at game time. It's a picture perfect day here in Dahlonega as we got off to a start right around the 2 o'clock scheduled time. We'll be back on the air tomorrow at noon for game 2, and the if necessary game for the Super Regional scheduled for 2:30 tomorrow as well. First pitch here by Smith. The bunt laid down, and the throw to first will be up the line. But a nice job of backing up there by Anthony as Fitch came in trying to get Tasia Williams. And it was going to be a tough play anyway because she was on the, well, right there in the middle of that line, running to first. Be credited with an infield single. So the Pirates able to get their number 9 hitter on. 7 for 8 in stolen bases this year as well, so a threat to run. The first pitch finds the zone for strike 1. This Armstrong team 23 of 30 in stolen bases, so they don't run an awful lot. Like to try to get runners on and drive them home with the long ball. As the 0-1 pitch, bunt laid down again. Smith gonna throw to first for out number 2. So 1-3 bunt there gets the runner to second with 2 away for Katie Collins, who's 1 for 1 with a solo homer to center, and it was an absolute no-doubter. Didn't need any wind at all for that one, as it was well over the wall in center, probably about 240 feet or so over that raised wall. Have to hit the ball pretty well to get it up and get it over that wall in center. More of a normal sized wall left to left center heading into that raised wall, same in right center and right. We actually got a pretty good measurement of how tall the wall is in right field when Kaylin Anthony was able to make the catch right on, well, right up against the wall there in right. It's probably about a 6-foot wall or so. 2-0 delivery is swung on and missed, and the count 2 balls and a strike to Collins. So Smith having to battle through some adversity here in the 3rd inning. 2-1 delivery on the way. Finds the inside corner for strike 2. She's been able to battle back and even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Collins came into the ball game hitting .368, hit her 12th homer, drove in her 36th run in the 1st inning. Chance to drive in another one here. Armstrong with her first runner in scoring position today. That pitch just missed the inside corner, and the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. North Georgia faithful sitting just below the press box here at Haynes and Carolyn Hill Stadium. None too happy with that call. But it's ball 3, so 3-2-2, and Williams will be off with contact. Time called as Collins able to step out of the box. Smith's ready again. She toes the rubber, gets the sign, and delivers. That pitch is hit to third. Sprague able to make the catch, the throw across the infield for out number 3. So Armstrong able to get a runner to second, trying to extend their lead, but Kylie Smith able to induce the ground out to third to end the inning. We head to the bottom half of the 3rd, and it's still Armstrong 1, North Georgia nothing, here on the Nighthawks Sports Network.
Hey, Banks, have a seat and let me make you uncomfortable. Up those grades, son, or the only position you'll be playing in college is sitting on me. You're still awake? Have a seat on old Mr. Bench. At least your buns will fall asleep.
Is this the one about the high school hotshot who gets benched in college?
Hey, Manti, move down.
It's a tearjerker!
Think of the NCAA as a spirit squad, cheering for student athletes at every big event and every small one. We'd be there in the classroom, at graduation, at their first job interview. Okay, so don't think of us as a spirit squad. Think of us as a mascot. Well, just know we're always there for student athletes.
Back here for the bottom of the third inning. And it'll be North Georgia to send 9-1-2 to the plate to once again face Jane Traska, who's been able to shut down the Nighthawks thus far in the ball game. He's only given up one base runner. Giving up two base runners. North Georgia was able to get runners second and third with two away thanks to an error at third by Katie Collins, but Jordan Deep grounded out to end the inning. So it'll be Hannah McSwain to lead off, arguably one of the heroes of the regional for North Georgia. Went 6 for 14 in that regional. Was able to raise her average to 280. Had two homers, including a two-run homer in the top of the eighth against Limestone. That ultimately gave North Georgia a 5-3 win and sent them to this super regional game. And that pitch is fouled off of McSwain on the 1-0. And so the count will be even at a ball and a strike. Went down to knee. Over there walking it off, but she's a pretty tough player for North Georgia. She'll be okay. And so the 1-1 pitch is hit in the air to left field and deep. Back goes Corbin. That ball's out over the wall for a home run. And McSwain able to do it again for the Nighthawks here in the bottom of the third inning. Ties the ball game up, and not someone you want to pitch to right now, folks, as two consecutive at-bats going back to the if necessary game in the regional on Saturday, and two consecutive homers for McSwain as that one in about the same position. About the same place over the wall, hit just as well. And so it's a leadoff homer in the third for North Georgia. And we'll flip the order. Sydney Sprague will come to the plate 0 for 1 with a ground out the second. So it's been a pair of long balls in this ball game that have given both teams a run and tie it at 1 apiece. A run on 2 hits and an error for Armstrong. A run on 2 hits, no errors for North Georgia. Game promises to be another one in a series that has gone back and forth. As the pitch here to Sprague finds the zone for strike 2. As we mentioned, both teams split earlier this year. The overall series going back to 2006 favors North Georgia 19-14, but Nighthawks only 11-10 here in Dahlonega, Georgia, so Armstrong really loved to come and play here as the 0-2 is fouled back to the screen. North Georgia has had more success playing down in Savannah. In fact, Armstrong had a 3-game winning streak in this series dating back to the end of the first game earlier on this year. Georgia able to break that up with a 7-2 win. This is the second time the Super Regional has been played here as that ball hit to shallow center. The catch made by Weaver for out number 1. Had one, of course, last year, but back in 2014, these two teams squared up as well. It was Armstrong who won the first game 3-2 in 8 innings. North Georgia won the second, but it was the Pirates who won a shootout 12-10 in the third game. So North Georgia never advanced to a College World Series while playing Armstrong here in Dahlonega. That pitch hit the third, and Hartness is retired 5-3 for out number 2. So that's a trend the Nighthawks are trying to buck in this series. Trying to perhaps get a little bit of revenge for last year's loss in the Super Regionals in 3 games in a dramatic Game 3. But on the flip side, Armstrong State playing for their softball lives, but not only that, for their program lives as well. After this year, Armstrong State will cease to be an athletic program as the school will merge with Georgia Southern as Armstrong team, the last team left out of those athletic teams. So really playing for a bit of history as the count, no balls and 2 strikes here on Frierson. So interesting storylines that we'll see today and tomorrow between these two teams. Always promises to be a good matchup, and has been pretty good here to start this one. The 0-2 pitch to Frierson. Swing and a miss. She's 0 for 2. And Traska able to get out of the bottom of the 3rd inning, but not before. Hannah McSwain leads off with a solo home run and ties this game at 1 as we head to the top of the 4th inning here on the Nighthawks Sports Network.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny, nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
Heart of the order drew up for the Pirates. Here in the top of the 4th inning, it'll be Harold, Traska, and Parrish looking to answer a North Georgia solo home run off the bat of Hannah McSwain, who's playing 3rd for the Nighthawks today. And the first pitch here to Harold in the dirt for ball 1. 0 for 1 with a fly out to right. Drove Kaylin Anthony to the wall. Anthony made the catch with her back up against that right field fence. Was able to stretch her arm up and make the catch. Not sure if the ball would have snuck over or been off the top, but either way, too close for comfort for Kylie Smith in the circle to being back-to-back homers. First homer in that first inning came off the bat of Katie Collins, and then Harold came up right after, nearly hit that ball out of the park, but Smith has been able to settle down since then. Was able to retire 6 straight into the 3rd inning before giving up a leadoff single, but got a couple of ground outs to end the inning. And the count, 2 balls and a strike here. And the pitch is off the outside corner, just missed. The count, 3 balls and a strike. Smith has really settled down, left some pitches up in that first inning, but in the second was able to get 2 strikeouts in a row to end the 2nd inning, and was really hitting her spots there as that pitch hit foul down the right field line. Anthony will give it a look. Had home run distance, surprisingly, but well to the right of the foul pole, and the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. The wind blowing out to right center, it seems. It's been swirling to start the game. It was south-southeast, so blowing out for these Armstrong hitters. Full count pitch is hit to first, and the catch made. 3 unassisted by Finch for out number 1, and Smith will have to do things like that to keep this Armstrong State team off balance. They like to do a lot of damage when they come to the plate. As we mentioned, they hit 77 homers this season, have 4 players there in the 3 through 6 spot. 4 of those 5 have double-digit homers, only 1 at the plate, Jade Traska, who has a measly 8 homers on the year. So the team that can do the damage with 1 swing of the bat. Smith will have to throw, as we mentioned, that changeup. Perhaps throw the rise ball up and out of the plate, but make sure that she is accurate within the zone as that pitch hit the left. Duncan coming on, going to make the catch for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down here in the 4th. And that'll bring Autumn Parrish to the plate. She's 0 for 1 with a line out to third. Parrish was the hero for this Armstrong State team, not only earlier this year when she hit a 2-run homer in the 8th off of Kylie Smith to give Armstrong the win in a doubleheader. They would split. So that ball popped up on the infield. McSwain will make the catch in foul territory, but Parrish last year also the decisive 2-run homer in Game 3 of the Super Regional that were able to send Armstrong to the Division II Softball Championship. More on their run there on the other side of this break as we are still tied at 1, headed to the bottom of the 4th here on the Nighthawks Sports Network.
I coined my definition of success in 1934. My definition of success is peace of mind attained only through self-satisfaction in knowing you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable. It's like reputation and character. Reputation is what others perceive you to be. Character is what you are.
It's on us, all of us, to make sexual assault unacceptable.
Take the pledge at itsonus.org and be a part of the solution.
We are challenging every Division II campus to take the pledge, to make a statement, and to make sexual assault unacceptable, because
it's on us!
4, 5, 6 due up for North Georgia here in the bottom of the 4th inning, looking to get another run as they were able to get a leadoff solo homer from Jessica McSwain in the 3rd. As we mentioned, Armstrong State able to win the Super Regional here last year, went on to a softball national championship. And it was held in Denver, Colorado. They lost the first game to Humboldt State, but were able to rattle off 3 straight wins against Grand Valley State, Adelphi, and once again beat Humboldt to set up an if necessary game to see who would go to a 3-game national championship series. It was Humboldt who were able to win 6-2, and they though would go on to lose 2 of those 3 games to North Alabama. As the first pitch here to Finch is inside the ball 1. So this Pirate team, another year experience, still have both of the pitchers from that roster last year are looking to get another shot. As the count of ball and no strikes here to Finch, and the pitch over the plate for strike 1. The national championship this year going to be held in Salem, Virginia. Starts on May 25th. That's a Thursday, runs through May 29th. That's a Monday. The 1-1 delivery swung on and missed. And the count, a ball and 2 strikes. That's what's on the line in this series. 1-2 pitch is hit off the end of the bat to second. Weaver will glove, throw high to first. Finch rounding first, gonna head for second and will be able to get there standing. The ball gets away again, and so Finch heading to third. She'll be there as some smart base running by the senior gets her to third with nobody out. Was a really routine play for Weaver at second, but she threw high of Reppert at first. The throw to second to try to get Finch made its way into center field. And so a runner on third for the Nighthawks. Here's a great opportunity to try to scratch across the run and take the lead, as 2 errors charged on that play allow Finch to head to third. Be I would imagine a throwing error at second, a throwing error that allowed the runner to head to third. As the pitch here finds its own for strike 1. Keelan Anthony bunted into a fielder's choice her first time up. And that pitch high and away for ball one. The count even at a ball and a strike. At North Georgia with a good opportunity to drive in a runner from third with less than 2 outs. They've already done the job of getting the runner on, over, and then over again. As the infield in anticipating a bunt perhaps from Anthony, and middle infielders coming in as well, trying to squeeze off a ground ball. The 1-1 is hit back up the middle though by the freshman into right center field. So an RBI single for North Georgia, and they take a 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. So they are indeed able to get that run for the 2nd consecutive inning. And as the skies darken, it's a 2-1 lead for the Nighthawks in the bottom of the 4th, with Shelby Hammondtree coming to the plate. She's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. It's been a little bit of power. It's been a little bit of timely hitting for the Nighthawks here, as that pitch is bunted foul down the first base line. Key base hit by Anthony. Nobody out there. The infield drawn in. He's able to get a good pitch to hit off Traska, who's given up a couple of runs here in this game. And the 0-1. Another failed bunt laid down by Hammondtree. Well, failed in the sense she couldn't get the bunt down. And so the count, no balls, 2 strikes. That run given up by Traska, an earned run. And there's a couple of errors allowed Finch to make it to third. In fact, it was an E4, E9. It was the right fielder who made the throwing error to second that allowed Finch to advance. That pitch just missed for ball one. One of 3 errors made by this Armstrong team. So that's the difference in the ball game so far. Error-free softball for North Georgia. Error-prone softball for the Pirates. 1-2 delivery on the way here. Ball is hit foul down the third base line, and really something both teams have been able to do, and that's avoid strikeouts for the most part in this ball game. Traska's only got the 2 strikeouts, so does Smith. So it's been North Georgia's defense that's been able to hold up a little bit better than that of Armstrong. It came in with a .965 fielding percentage on the year. That'll go down with the 3 errors in this ball game. As the 1-2 delivery is hit off the end of the bat foul. 965 fielding percentage, good for a third in the Peach Belt Conference. So it's not like this Armstrong team doesn't field well. They just haven't been able to field well today. And not sure it was throwing. It's been throwing errors today. You know, high throws. You got one from Weaver. You got one from Collins. You got a high throw from Duff, who's in right field. Not sure if maybe they're having an issue getting that plant foot down, because not playing on natural dirt here at Haynes at Carolyn Hill Stadium. In fact, it's all turf everywhere on the field. 1-2 pitch is high for ball 2, going and making it into second with a nice slide is Kaylin Anthony, who's able to slide under the tag. It was almost like she was playing limbo there with the way she went all the way to the ground on the slide to avoid the tag. But an all turf field, so perhaps that wreaking a little bit of havoc. Not sure if it is or not. As we mentioned, though, this Armstrong team has already played here once this year. They played some of these players in a super regional last year, so should be used to it. As that ball hit to short, the throw to first will be in time. Anthony will make it to third. Nice job of waiting on the throw to be made.
Now batting number 33, Lexi Duncan.
Lexi Duncan will come to the plate here with another runner at third with less than 2 outs. So sacrifice fly will do the job here. Not sure a ground ball on the infield would, as the infield coming in for Armstrong. Corners in, middle infield in as well, playing straight up in the outfield. The first pitch here to Duncan is hit on the ground to third, but it'll be foul. Nearly able to chop it over the head of Collins at third. North Georgia able to avoid strikeouts in situations like these, and with the way that the Pirates have played defense to start this ball game, if you're Coach Mike Davenport at 30, you want to see your team put in play because anything can happen. As off-speed pitch swung on and missed by Duncan, no balls, 2 strikes. Duncan, one of those players that reached on an error last time up. She reached second on an E5. Kaylin Anthony, who's at third, was able to reach third on that error. And the 0-2 delivery here is outside for ball 1. And Traska ready. That pitch is ripped foul down the left field line. And a couple of North Georgia players having a duck over there in the bullpen. Duncan 15 strikeouts in 92 at-bats, so a little bit prone to that. Able to hit this ball off the end of the bat. The play made in fair territory. The throw to first just got her. As Duncan, a quick runner out of the box. And Collins able to make the nice smooth throw to first for out number 2. That'll bring Jordan Deep to the plate. Deep's 0 for 1 with a ground out to Traska, who is in the circle. And the first pitch here to the second baseman outside for ball 1. Mentioned Deep has been struggling of late, came in 188 on the year. Had that one hit against Limestone on May 13th in the second game, but had really been struggling 0 for 20 before that. Seen her average drop from 228 to 186. But plays good defense and is a little bit of a feast or famine hitter. 6 homers for the Nighthawks. Has a chance to drive a ball out of the park. The 1-0 here is high and in for ball 2. And the count 2 balls, no strikes. Was able to score a run against Lenore Ryan in an 8-3 win. Drew a walk there. So drew a walk against North Greenville in the second elimination game that day. So the 2-0 here. That's down and in for ball 3, and Deep is way ahead in the count here. And if you're Traska, you don't want to walk her and put her on base for Hannah McSwain, who took you deep your first time up. So we'll see if she's able to battle back here, or if she indeed sends one of the hottest hitters for the Nighthawks to the plate. A pitch over the inner third for strike 1. Deep was taking all the way there. She'll have another good hitter's pitch here. See if Traska gives her a pretty juicy pitch. Could go to the off-speed pitch here. Has been predominantly using the fastball. And the 3-1 delivery is outside for ball 4. So Deep able to draw a walk here to extend the inning with 2 outs. She'll head down to first. Runners on the corners. 2 away for the aforementioned Hannah McSwain, who was able to hit a homer over the left field wall her first time up. Tied the game up for the Nighthawks in the third inning. And they've been able to take the lead here in the bottom of the fourth. It's a run on 2 hits and now 3 errors for Armstrong State here early in this ball game. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Nighthawks, and really the error-free softball has been the difference in this game. That error that came earlier in the inning, actually 2 of the 3 errors came on 1 play. Jessica Finch hit a ball off the handle to second, and the throw was over the head of Reppert at first. Finch advancing to second was able to make it to third as Duff, coming in from right, backing up the play, made an errant throw that really died in center field. If it had been thrown harder, it might have rolled to an outfielder and kept Finch at second. She was able to make it to third, and Caitlin Anthony able to single her in on the next play. So that's the difference in the ball game so far, but a dangerous hitter here with a chance to increase North Georgia's lead. And the first pitch here to McSwain finds the inside corner for strike 1. Tresca starts her off with a fastball on the inside corner. Might want to stay away from that inside corner as McSwain was able to time a fastball in that bottom of the third inning. And fastball provided the power. She put a good swing on it, and it went over the field and fence in left field. That pitch low and away for ball 1. Got another dangerous hitter on deck in Sydney Sprague, who hasn't hit as well here in the postseason as she did the regular season, but comes in with 14 homers. So it looks like we'll have a pinch runner with a 1-1 count.
Pinch running for North Georgia, number 16, Casey Oakley.
And it's Casey Oakley with some added speed on second. Scored 7 runs, 3 for 3 in stolen bases, so another fresh pair of legs on the base paths, and Case McSwain's able to find a hole here. The 1-1 is chopped off the plate. Traska will make the catch. The throw to first just gets McSwain by a step for out number 3. So the Nighthawks able to take the lead, get runners to the corners here in the bottom of the fourth, but unable to extend the lead late in this inning. We head to the top of the fifth. It's North Georgia 2, Armstrong 1. Here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
I coined my definition of success in 1934. My definition of success is peace of mind attained only through self-satisfaction in knowing you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable. It's like reputation and character. Reputation is what others perceive you to be. Character is what you are.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub, with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
6, 7, 8 due up for the Pirates here in the top of the fifth inning. As it'll be Reppert, Coleman, and Weaver. We're over halfway through this ball game. North Georgia leading by a 2-1 score. It was Armstrong who led off the scoring in the top of the fourth, scored their only run on a Katie Collins solo homer to center. North Georgia able to get single runs in the third, a solo homer by McSwain there, and a single run on the fourth, and single up the middle by Anthony. And the pitch finds its own there. The count even at a ball and a strike. Since that first inning, Kylie Smith has really settled down as that ball is ripped foul down the left field line. Count, ball and 2 strikes now against Reppert. She was able to retire at 1 point 6 straight at the end of the first through the second, start off the third, and since then has retired 5 straight as she got the Pirates in order in the top of the 4th inning. 1-2 delivery here is hit to third. McSwain able to glove, throw to first. It's dug out by Finch nicely for out number 1. So we've seen some errant throws from both teams here, but it's really been the ability of Jessica Finch at first right there to keep North Georgia from committing an error to starting the top of the 5th inning. Reppert at first, who just grounded out, has been unable to really handle a couple of throws that Armstrong has made that it's been high. As the first pitch here to Coleman, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout, is low. And the defense has been the difference in this ball game without a shadow of a doubt. We'll see if that does end up being the difference at the end of the game, but with as tightly as these two teams play each other, there's possibility for another run or two for both sides in this ball game. That's a pitch low there for 2 balls and no strikes. Armstrong gonna have to figure out Kylie Smith, who's been able to keep them off balance really since that first inning. 2-0 delivery here. Off-speed pitch just missed low for ball 3. And so it's a 3-0 count for the North Georgia pitcher against the shortstop for Armstrong. And the 3-0 pitch here finds its own for strike 1. Coleman was walking to first before the pitch even made it to the plate, but Smith able to drop that off-speed pitch in there like a changeup for strike 1, and that's really her best pitch. She works that changeup off the fastball, and we saw a hitter in the top of the 4th inning, Carroll, the catcher, get fooled by that changeup and hit an easy ground ball to first. But a 1-out walk surrendered by Smith there. And that'll bring Hunter Weaver to the plate, who's 0 for 1 with a ground out to the pitcher. Perhaps not a bad result there, giving up the walk to Coleman, because she is really one of those hitters that can hit the ball out of the park. You come to Weaver with no homers, who lays down a nice bunt, but foul for strike 1. So if you're able to get the out here, then you might be able to bring Williams to the plate with 2 outs. Yeah, 7 of the 9 hitters in the starting lineup have 8 homers or more for Armstrong State. The 0-1 pitch finds the outside corner for strike 2. Corbin and Weaver at the plate, the only 2 that don't actually have multiple homers. Weaver with the 1, Corbin at the top of the lineup, yet to homer this year. The 0-2 delivery is checked. Well, a check swing there. And the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Smith looking for the strikeout here. The 1-2 delivery is swung on and missed. She's able to get it for out number 2. That's strikeout number 3 on the year. And that will indeed bring Tasia Williams to the plate with the runner still on first with now 2 away. Williams 1 for 1 with a bunt single her first time up. Is able to lay a bunt down the first baseline. Finch able to get there, but her throw to Deep, who was covering first, was high and wide. First pitch finds its own for strike 1. And it was Kaylin Anthony and Wright who was backing it up that allowed North Georgia to keep the speedy Williams at first, where she was stranded with 2 straight groundouts. 1 pitch is fouled off down the third baseline. And so no balls, 2 strikes here. Smith looking to leave another runner on the base paths for Armstrong, and that pitch high for ball 1. Tried to go up in the zone there and was able to get it high enough. That's the part, that's if you want to miss high for Smith, that's where you want to miss. You don't want to miss somewhere high in the zone, because these teams can, well, this Armstrong team, as we said, can hit it out of the plate. And so far has been able to not only command her pitches left to right, but also up and down in the zone. count even here at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the delivery is fouled at the plate. Hammondtree couldn't hold on to that one. Would have been strike 3 to end the inning, but Williams able to get just enough of it to throw Hammondtree off. So the count remains even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the delivery here is hit to third. McSwain gonna glove. Good throw to first for out number 3. So Smith allows a 1-out walk here in the top of the 5th, but able to get a strikeout and a ground out to third to end the top half of the 5th. We head to the bottom half. North Georgia with a 1-run lead here on the Nighthawks Sports Network.
Cheer for the stumbles. The he shoulda had that's. And the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There, you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
Think of the NCAA as a marching band. We wouldn't stop with halftime. We'd be full-time, celebrating student athletes in everything they do. Okay, so don't think of us as a marching band. Think of us as a spirit squad. Well, just know we're always there for student athletes.
Nighthawks come to the plate in the bottom of the 5th inning, and it'll be the top of the lineup, Sprague, Hartness, and Frierson, who are surprisingly 0 for 6 in this ball game so far. And it was the top of the lineup and really the middle that got it done, with the exception of Hannah McSwain. Last year, the Nighthawks got hits and key RBIs from that bottom part of the order. And that was the difference that allowed them to advance past Limestone, as Limestone in game 1, that championship game in the regional, went something like 0 for 21 from the plate. That was hitters actually 5 through 9. So that was a strength last week for North Georgia, and so far tonight has been a strength so far for the Nighthawks as well. As the 1-0 delivery here to Sprague, down and in for ball 2. Knew that both teams had pretty good top of the order hitting, but it's once again been the bottom of the order that has failed to do it for Armstrong with some opportunities. That pitch low and in for ball 3, so Sprague way ahead here, 3 balls, no strikes. And North Georgia, of course, getting the solo homer from McSwain. So the 3-0 delivery on the way, and that is high for ball 4. So it's a leadoff walk for the North Georgia shortstop. She'll be on first with the always dangerous Steph Hartness coming to the plate. She's got a pair of ground outs, grounded back to Traska in the 1st inning, hit ground ball to short in the 3rd. Went 9 for 12 in the regional with all kinds of extra base hits, included a couple of triples. We'll see if she can get herself going here. The infield playing with the corners in, perhaps anticipating a bunt. The first pitch here to Hartness, and low and away for ball 1. Got started in the box, which might indicate she'll indeed try to lay down that bunt. And I don't know, with Reppert charging pretty hard at first, might try to lay it down that first base line, and has good speed overall. So might be one of those opportunities where she lays down the sacrifice bunt, and that would be the worst possible scenario, but a best case scenario would be a couple of runners on with nobody out. We'll see how it plays out here. The 1-0 delivery is over the outer 3rd for strike 1. So the count even at a ball and a strike. Fascinating stuff. As we get late in this ball game, every bunt, every hit, and every catch and throw could be the difference between a Game 1 win for either of these teams. That pitch low and away for ball 2, and they appeal and say that she went. And the count going to be a ball and 2 strikes instead of 2 balls and a strike, as the umpire, who was behind second there, made the call and said that she went. And interesting stuff there is as normally whenever you make that call out to second, umpire not in a position to make that call, but obviously felt that she went around enough there. So a little bit of a break for the Pirates, a ball and 2 strikes instead of 2 balls and a strike. And Hartness will step back into the box. And the 1-2 delivery is on the way here. That ball is fouled off at the plate, so she's able to stay alive. Sprague on first for North Georgia, a very good runner on the base paths. On the year, she's 10 of 14 in stolen base attempts. Threat to run for North Georgia. The 1-2 delivery here is fouled off at the plate. Hartness able to get enough of a delivery there to stay alive. Hartness was held to 0 for 3 with a walk in that Game 3 last year in the Super Regional. Game 2 was 0 for 2 with 2 walks. As the 1-2 delivery here is low for ball 2. Sprague indeed goes, and the throw will be in plenty of time to get her at second. Tried to slide around there, but is caught stealing for the 5th time of the year. And that's 1 away now in the bottom of the 5th inning. You count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes on Hartness. She got 2 hits and an RBI in Game 1, but has been held hitless in about 7 at-bats since then, but really battling here. Able to get another piece of that one. And the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. So for her last 7 with about 3 walks. No, for her last 9 with about 3 walks in Super Regional play overall. 2-2 delivery is fouled off at the plate. In the 2 games this year, 2 for 6 with a homer against this Armstrong team. And the 2-2 pitch is low and in. And so the count full at 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Got a leadoff walk from Sydney Sprague, but she was cut down trying to steal second just a couple of pitches ago. And the full count delivery here is swung on and missed. So Hartness able to put up a good battle against Traska, but Traska ultimately able to win the war, gets the strikeout. That's 2 away, and that is strikeout number 3 of the day for the Armstrong pitcher, as Alicia Frierson will come to the plate. 0 for 2, a ground out to the pitcher, and one of those 3 strikeout victims. In the top of the 6th for the Pirates, it'll be the top of the order. That ball is hit up the middle, and the throw to first will be made in time by Coleman for out number 3. So it's a non-traditional 1-2-3 for Traska here in the bottom half of the 5th. We head to the top of the 6th. Armstrong with the top of the lineup due up, trying to get a run back as they're now 2-1 to North Georgia here on the Nighthawks Sports Network.
What you've gained as a student will be just as important to you as what you did as a player. As long as you know that you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable, there's no failure. Success on 3.
There are over 400,000 NCAA student athletes. And just about all of us will be going pro in something other than sports.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions. with exclusive access.
This would be a great day to play perfect, wouldn't it?
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
And the top of the lineup due up for Armstrong. It'll be Corbin, Collins, and Harrell here in the top of the 6th inning. That's getting late in this ball game with North Georgia leading this one 2-1. The first pitch down and away for ball 1 to Corbin, who's 0 for 2 with a couple of ground outs. .1-0 delivery here is hit foul on the infield. Hammondtree able to make a nice basket running catch for out number 1. So the North Georgia catcher able to make a nice read on the ball, running out, was able to make the catch in front of McSwain for out number 1. And it's been the defense of North Georgia, and it's really been the difference in this ball game so far. And it's not like they've made the spectacular play, they've just been solid. No errors to Armstrong State, who have committed 3 in the ball game. As the first pitch here to Collins finds its own for strike 1. One of those errors committed in the bottom of the 4th, looming large here. As the 0-1 delivery on the way. Just missed high and away for ball 1. Collins is 1 for 2, had the solo homer in the first inning over the fence in center field, and is also grounded out to third. And the 1-1 delivery on the way. That ball is hit down the third baseline foul. So 2 strikes on Collins here since that homer in the top of the first inning. Of course, no more runs been given up by Smith. And she's had streaks of 6 set down in a row, 2 streaks of 6 in a row set down, and is working on 3 straight right now. Only 2 base runners since then, 1 hit. 1-2 delivery, hit in the air down the right field line. That will get down just foul as it was hit into the middle of a triangle between Finch at first, deep at second, and Anthony and right. So the count once again, a ball and 2 strikes, and these North Georgia outfielders having to play back. So that sort of thing is going to be available. At Collins, who's already hit a homer. You've got Harrell and Parrish and Reppert that all range from about 11 to 14 homers as that ball is hit deep to left, and that's going to tie the ball game up as Collins able to hit her second solo homer of the game. That came on a 1-2 count. Hit it out to left field, and another no-doubter for the Pirates. So some late drama here in this one. They tie the game up at 2 apiece here in the top of the 6th. And that will bring the catcher Harrell to the plate. Logan is 0 for 2 with a fly out to right. And that is a little bit of an understatement of a descriptive of that fly ball to right in the first. Nearly went back-to-back with Collins as she drove Kaylin Anthony to the wall, who had to reach up and make the catch, as that ball may or may not have gotten out. First pitch here comes in and hits Harrell, so a homer and then a hit by pitch back-to-back with 1 away. And Coach Davenport will come out and talk to Smith. Hammondtree bringing the ball, and the rest of the infield will come in as he'll try to settle down his freshman pitcher, who was cruising along in this ball game up until that solo homer. He's had 2 streaks of 6 in a row set down. Looks like we'll have a pinch runner at first as well. It'll be
number 4, Savannah Gladue.
Be Savannah Gladue at first, a pinch run, so some speed on the base pads, and Jane Traska will come to the plate now with a chance to help herself out. She's 0 for 2 with a pair of flyouts to left. Mono v mono between the pitchers here. The first pitch down and away for ball 1. Traska, not only a good pitcher, but a good hitter as well for Armstrong. The cleanup hitter came into this ball game at .301 average, 8 homers, 29 RBIs. Average will have dipped below 300, but nonetheless tells you she's a pretty good 2-way player. And the count even at a ball and a strike after that foul ball. So Smith going to have to battle some adversity here in this inning. 1-1 pitch. Finds the zone for strike 2. Able to freeze Traska with a fastball over the outside corner. So ball and 2 strikes with 1 away here. Traska becomes the key hitter in the inning, trying to get that runner over or in if she can. The 1-2 delivery here just missed the outside corner. Hammondtree tried to turn that one back toward the outside corner, but was outside. Good call by the umpire behind the plate. And the count is even. 2-2 pitch here is ripped foul into the netting in front of the North Georgia dugout. Something that changes a little bit. Usually the visiting team here at Haynes and Carolyn Hill Stadium at third and the home team at first, but switching that one up for NCAA play. And the delivery here is popped up on the infield, and actually the catch will be made by Smith herself. So she's able to win the battle of the pitchers once again. Sell Traska 2-0 for 3 day, and that will bring Autumn Parrish to the plate, who really loves to hit here at this ballpark. He was able to hit a game-winning 2-run homer in the top of the 8th in the first meeting between these two teams in the first meeting of that doubleheader. First pitch here missed high for ball 1. He had a decisive 2-run homer in Super Regional play last year, but has been held 0 for 2 with a line out and a pop out to third. So she's hit the ball to the left side both times. 1-0 delivery here is hit to third, past McSwain into left field for a base hit. Throw is in quickly, but runners move to first and second. As there are 2 away in the inning. So Armstrong with that go-ahead run at second. And the dangerous Hannah Reppert will come to the plate. Comes in with the team lead in homers with 14. Came in with a .317 average. And has driven in 37 runs. That pitch finds the inside corner for strike 1. Kylie 1 out away from holding Armstrong to a run. The 1-1 delivery here is ripped foul down the third base line, and it's a ball and 2 strikes now. So Armstrong were indeed able to hit another homer in this ball game. Both of them coming from Katie Collins, who is playing third today. 1-2 delivery on the way here. That ball is hit to short. Sprague will glove. She'll toss to second, and they're able to get the runner there. That was Parrish for out number 3. So Armstrong able to tie this one up in the top half of the 6th. North Georgia will have 4, 5, 6 due up as we head to the bottom of the 6th here on the Nighthawks Sports Network.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% would go pro. That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs, no private jets, no fan clubs, no Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.
Enough. Yeah, I'm over it.
We shouldn't need commercials to tell you we're powerful.
No thanks. Genders don't play sports. Athletes do.
And heart of the order due up for the Nighthawks. Finch, Anthony, and Hammondtree will face Traska, who comes on for the bottom of the 6th inning, has given up a pair of runs. One of them earned a solo homer in the bottom of the 3rd, leading off for Hannah McSwain, and the RBI single by Caitlin Anthony after a pair of errors on a Jessica Finch ground ball to second led to the 2nd run of the ball game for the Nighthawks. That held up till the top half of the 6th when Armstrong was able to tie it up. So Jessica Finch, the aforementioned, will lead it off for the Nighthawks, trying to get an inning started, try to start a rally for North Georgia, who were at home, the home team for game 1 here in the bottom of the 6th. First pitch to Finch is hit to third. Collins will glove, throw to first for out number 1. So Finch 1 for 2 up to that point, 1 for 3 now. And Caitlin Anthony will come to the plate. She is 1 for 2, was able to hit that RBI single up the middle her first time up. Anthony 3 for 6 with it with a homer against Armstrong in that doubleheader on March 5th. So hits this Pirate pitching pretty well. Watches that one up high for ball 1. Of course, that doubleheader earlier this year was in regular season play. Things tighten up a good bit here in the postseason. As the 1-0 delivery here on the way. That ball is hit off the end of the bat to third. Collins going to make the catch, the glove, an errant throw, but Reppert able to glove and tag out Anthony for out number 2. So a couple of ground outs at third are how North Georgia start the bottom of the 6th, and Shelby Hammondtree will come to the plate. 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out to short, but she is one of those players for North Georgia that seems to come up with a big-time hit at a big-time juncture of the game. Saw her hit a homer in the regional. That one of those homers came against Limestone, as it helped North Georgia extend their lead. A game they would eventually win by an 8-1 score. So we'll see if she can come through for the Nighthawks here and give them the lead. Hits the ball off the handle, and Coleman able to make the catch to throw it out number 3. So a pair of ground outs to third, a ground out to short, and Jane Trasco with a quick and efficient bottom of the 6th inning. We're through 6 complete, and we're still tied here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance, a monster dunk or no-look pass, and cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success and prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
Hey, Banks. Have a seat and let me make you uncomfortable. Up those grades, son, or the only position you'll be playing in college is sitting on me. You're still awake? Have a seat on old Mr. Bench. At least your buns will fall asleep.
Is this the one about the high school hotshot who gets benched in college?
Hey, man, T, move down.
It's a tearjerker!
7, 8, 9 due up for Armstrong, Coleman, Weaver, and Williams, as this is the final scheduled inning of regulation. So Kylie Smith will be looking to get 3 outs here, send North Georgia to the bottom of the 7th with the game tied and a chance for one swing of the bat to change this ball game. In fact, pretty interesting storyline sets up here in the 7th inning. 7, 8, 9 due up for Armstrong here. 7, 8, 9 due up for North Georgia in the bottom half of the 7th. So we'll see who's bottom of the lineup, if either, can come up with the big hit and put their team out in front.
Leading off the top of the 7th for Armstrong.
And leading off here, Macy Coleman, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. Coleman, another one of those hitters with double-digit home runs. And the first pitch here to her finds the outer third for strike 1. And the 0-1 delivery is hit to short. Sprague will glove, throw across the infield. Able to get Coleman for out number 1. The shortstop thought she had beaten out that throw from Sprague at short, but just enough arm on it. And Coleman not happy with that call. A huge shift in momentum here in the top of the 7th for the time being anyway. as the leadoff hitter is retired on a bang-bang play. And coming up to the plate now is Connor Weaver. First pitch to her just missed over the heart of the plate for ball 1. Weaver's 0 for 2 with a ground out to Smith in the circle and a strikeout as well. And the 1-0 delivery here is swung on and missed. Same fan the entirety of the ball game since Weaver's first at bat down below me in the press box has been yelling, "Keep her in the box." So he obviously thinks whenever she gets that head start swinging that she might make contact outside of the box with the ball. The 1-1 pitch is up and away for ball 2, and now paying attention to that. Looks like the trigger foot for Weaver is indeed on the edge of the box. 2-1 pitch here is ripped foul down the right field line, so it'll be even at 2 count. It'll be even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Of course, if Weaver were to make contact with that ball outside of the box, might spell a little bit of trouble for her. We'll see if that happens. And the 2-2 delivery on the way. That ball is hit into center field. Hartness will play it on a hop. And so it's a 1-out single for Weaver, who's playing second today. That'll bring Tasia Williams to the plate, who is playing center today for Armstrong. Williams, a single in the 3rd, grounded out to 3rd in the 5th.
Pitch running for Armstrong, number 21, Emily Swafford.
Weaver will be lifted for a pinch runner, Emily Swafford, who's 2 for 3 in stolen bases. First pitch here, swing and a miss. So Williams trying to put Armstrong on the board with an extra base hit or even a homer there. Comes up empty. And the 0-1 pitch here is fouled back to the screen, so Smith able to get ahead of the number 9 hitter for Armstrong. 0-2 quickly. Interesting, Swafford 2 for 3 in stolen bases. Weaver 3 for 4, so maybe more trying to save the legs of Weaver if we have to go deeper into this ball game. The 0-2 delivery on the way. Ball is hit to short. Sprague able to make the catch. Not going to make the return throw. Wisely holds on to it. So a line out to short, and they are 2 away. We'll flip the lineup though, and the leadoff hitter will come to the plate. That will be Natalie Corbin, who is 0 for 3. Pair of ground outs and a pop-up foul to 3rd. Her last time up, first pitch there finds a zone for strike 1. Corbin came in a .347 hitter, 7 RBIs. Hasn't hit a homer yet, but has that high average, shows she has pretty good speed, able to get on base. As that pitch finds the outside corner for strike 2. So Smith quickly ahead here, no balls and 2 strikes, was able to get a line out to short her last time up. And to emphasize that speed, McSwain in front of the bag at 3rd. Sprague shortens up at short. That 0-2 high and away for ball 1. Deep can't really come in at second. She's got to stay back because she's got to cover second for the force out there. Finch staying even at the bag, which tells you she might not be charging as hard as you might think. As that pitch low for ball 2. So if a ball is bunted or a swinging bunt to the right side, it might be Smith who has that coverage. We'll see. As the 2-2 delivery here is swung on and missed. Won't matter. Smith able to get the strikeout of Corbin for out number 3 here in the top of the 7th. So we'll see if the Nighthawks 7, 8, 9 hitters can do anything in the bottom half of the 7th. That's where we had tied 2-2 here on the Nighthawks Sports Network.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to A college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieve a lot of the financial burden.
Think of the NCAA as a spirit squad, cheering for student athletes at every big event and every small one. We'd be there in the classroom, at graduation, at their first job interview. Okay, so don't think of us as a spirit squad. Think of us as a mascot. Well, just know we're always there for student athletes.
Duncan, Deep, McSwain due up for North Georgia here in the bottom of the 7th inning. As the Nighthawks look to win it here and avoid heading to extra innings, because that pesky top of the 8th has not been North Georgia's friend the last year or so in this series. They've lost games to Armstrong in 8 innings. So they'll look to try to avoid that here. Lexi Duncan will lead off. This bottom of the 7th inning, she is 0 for 2, reached on an error and grounded out to third. And the first pitch here to Duncan is low for ball 1. Try to get on in front of Deep and McSwain. Jordan Deep 0 for 1 with a walk. Hannah McSwain 1 for 2 with that solo homer in the third. As a 1-0 delivery here is swung on a miss. Both Deep and McSwain on deck have the ability to win this game with one swing. Jordan Deep 6 homers on the year. McSwain 2 homers in her last 3 at-bats in NCAA play. As that off-speed pitch swung on a miss by Duncan. The count, a ball and 2 strikes. You got a couple of potentially dangerous bottom of the order hitters. Deep has been more of a feast or famine type hitter this year. The potential is always there. As a 1-2 pitch swung on and missed. Another off-speed pitch in a perfect place by Jane Traska, and that is out number 1 of the inning. That'll bring the aforementioned Deep to the plate, 0 for 1. That walk in the 4th also grounded out to the pitcher with runners on 2nd and 3rd and 2 out in the 2nd. Here's the first pitch here to Deep. Outside for ball 1. Saw the ball really well her last time up. Was able to work the count to 3-0 before seeing that ball on a 3-1 pitch. And the 1-0 delivery here is hit on the infield to short. Gloved by Coleman. She'll throw to first for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down in the bottom of the 7th. And it'll be Hannah McSwain to come to the plate. 1 for 2. That solo homer in the 3rd. Grounded out to the pitcher her last time up with runners on the corners and 2 away. So Deep and McSwain both with opportunities throughout this ball game. McSwain hit her homer with nobody on base. She was the hero in the final game of the regional for North Georgia. A 5-3 homer in the top of the 8th that saw the Nighthawks move on to the Super Regional. First pitch low for ball 1. Got Sydney Sprague on deck. You got Steph Harkness lurking in the hole for North Georgia. So a couple of dangerous hitters after McSwain, who has been on fire for North Georgia in postseason play. The 1-0 delivery here is ripped foul down the first base line, and Reppert was really playing a good bit off of the line, and the ball would have ended up in the corner. It might have been an extra base hit, but McSwain ripped it just foul, just to the right of that bag. And instead, the count will be even at a ball and a strike. Playing McSwain to pull in the outfield. Big gap in right center field as Duff is playing in her normal position. 1-1 delivery here is hit in the air into right field and shallow. Duff coming on. She's going to make the catch for out number 3. So we will indeed make our way to extra innings here in game 1 of the Super Regional. We're tied at 2, headed to the top of the 8th here on the Nighthawks Sports Network.
There are over 480,000 college athletes. Only 2% would go pro. That means over 470,000 will not get a shoe contract. No autographs, no private jets, no fan clubs, no Hall of Fame inductions. Instead, they will walk away with something much more valuable.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub, with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
It's a 2-3-4 due up in the top of the 8th for Armstrong, who were able to tie it in the 6th on a solo homer by the leadoff hitter in the inning. That's Katie Collins, 2 for 3 with 2 solo bombs as North Georgia enters the inning of horrors against Armstrong State the last couple of years. First pitch over the plate for strike 1 earlier this year. The number 5 hitter who will come up if anyone should reach. That is Autumn Parrish, hit a 2-run homer to give Armstrong a win in the 8th as that pitch is popped up foul into shallow right. Anthony calls off deep. It makes the catch for out number 1. It was Parrish once again last year in Game 3, that decider that sent Armstrong to the softball championships in Denver. They hit a 2-run homer in the 8th inning to break the hearts of North Georgia, who tied it with a 2-run homer in the bottom of the 7th. So Kylie Smith back out in the circle will look to navigate this inning as that pitch is fouled off down the right field line. A good start with a fly out of Collins. That'll bring Logan Harold to the plate, who is 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch. Oh, 1 delivery is hit foul, and the count, no balls, 2 strikes. And if you want a little bit of more horror, if you're a North Georgia fan about this 8th inning, 3-2 win in 2014 in that super regional in 8 innings for Armstrong in Game 1. So they've really dominated this inning, but all the time you see trends change. So we'll see if Armstrong is able to keep up that success in this inning, or if North Georgia is able to change the story. The 1-2 delivery here, swing and a miss. Kylie Smith doing everything she can to change the story. She's got the first 2 hitters out for Armstrong, and that'll bring Jane Traska to the plate, who has been on the losing side of this pitcher v. pitcher battle. Traska is 0 for 3 with a pair of flyouts to left and a pop-up to Smith in the circle. And the first pitch here to Traska just missed the inside corner. Looked like a changeup there, so that's ball 1. Wouldn't that be a storyline? If Armstrong's able to get the solo homer or the run here in the 8th and able to hold North Georgia, wouldn't that be a storyline? It would be started by Jane Traska. Beating up on her pitching counterpart, but we'll see what happens here. 1-1 delivery on the way as that ball is hit foul down the first base line. On the flip side, would be a pretty good storyline too. Have a freshman pitcher come in with all this history in the series, especially in super regional play, and able to get a shutdown top of the 8th inning. She's 1 strike, 1 out away from doing it here, and the pitch high for ball 2. So outside of 2 mistakes made to Collins, and both of those pitches were left up by Smith, and Collins, who was retired earlier, hit him out of the park. She's had a pretty good day with the 2-2 delivery outside for ball 3. And the count full now, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 away. Another Nighthawk killer on deck. Autumn Parrish, don't want to bring her up in this inning either. As the 3-2 pitch on the way, that ball is hit to third, foul. Fact that Parrish homer came with 2 outs as that pitch is ripped to right field for a base hit. Anthony going to make the throw. Finch able to dig, try to get Traska at first, but It's the first hit of the ball game for Traska. She'll be on first, and the aforementioned Parrish will come to the plate. She's 1 for 3. Line out to third in the second, and a pop-up foul to third in the fourth, and is able to single through the left side in the sixth. So big key at bat here. He had a homer with 2 outs earlier this year.
Number 7, Autumn Parrish.
Hit a homer with 1 away in Game 3 of the Super Regional last year. Swing and a miss there for strike 1. So wouldn't you believe it that we would see Parrish, who has done some damage to the Nighthawks in the 8th inning, up here with a chance to do even more damage. As the 0-1 delivery on the way. Outside for ball 1. And so it's a 1-1 count. Smith will deliver here. As that pitch just missed inside for ball 2. And that's really been the story of Smith's days so far. She's been in and around that inside and outside corner, been working up and down in the zone. Has held this vaunted Armstrong team to just 2 runs today. So delivery here, that pitch over the inside corner, and that'll even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Armstrong team number 1, the Peach Belt Conference in scoring at 6.1 runs a game coming into the Super Regional. It's good for 21st nationally. And the 2-2 pitch is hit to third. McSwain gonna glove, throw to first, and the Nighthawks able to keep Armstrong scoreless in the top of the 8th. We'll head to the bottom half, and North Georgia will have the top of the lineup due up with a chance to win it here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Defining moments. Championship dreams. Share the experience with your family and friends. The 2017 NCAA Division II Softball Championship, May 25th through 29th at Moyer Park in Salem, Virginia. Visit ncaa.com/tickets for your tickets today.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance, a monster dunk or no-look pass, and cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success and prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
It'll be Jane Trask on the mound to face that 1-2-3 hitters in the North Georgia lineup. Sydney Sprague, Steph Hartness, Alicia Frierson. They've all been held hitless by the Armstrong ace in the circle. And Sprague will be the one to lead it off. She's been the only one to reach base, was able to draw a walk in the 5th, but was caught stealing 2nd. And then Hartness, who was 9 for 12 in the regional, her super regional woes dating back to last year continue. She's 0 for 3, and then Alicia Frierson, one of 4 freshmen in the starting lineup, one of 5 freshmen to play for North Georgia in this ball game, getting her first dose of super regional action, is 0 for 3. So it'll be Sprague to come to the plate here. So 0 for 7 against this Armstrong squad the first time around. So Trask is ready, she's in the circle, and the first pitch here on the way is hit to third. Collins gonna glove, make the throw to first. The throw once again pulls Reppert off the bag, but she's able to tag Sprague for out number 1. So a quick 1 pitch, 1 out for Traska, and now a very dangerous Steph Hartness coming to the plate with the way she's been hitting coming into this game. Might be due at 0 for 3, has the ability to hit not just doubles, but triples, can hit the ball out of the park as well. And the first pitch to her here is over the outside corner for strike 1, but it seems like Traska all day has saved her best stuff for the Nighthawks center fielder. Hartness came in hitting .455 with 12 homers, 48 RBIs, and teams haven't been able to get her out of late. As the 0-1 delivery finds the zone for strike 2. Oh, by the way, carried a 16-game hitting streak into this ball game, so that potentially could be on the line as well in this at-bat. 0-2 pitch as the lefty steps into the box, and Traska will deliver the pitch outside, way outside for ball 1. Something I forgot to mention throughout this ball game. Not only has she been hitting well, raised her average from below 400 up to 455 during the 16-game hitting streak. As the 1-2 delivery here is hit to third. Collins will give ground, throw to first. Able to get start Hartness for out number 2. So a couple of tests for Collins at third, who made a throwing error earlier in the game, but she is passed with flying colors here in this bottom half of the 8th inning, and it'll be Alicia Frierson who will come to the plate. A couple of ground outs with a strikeout sandwiched in between, so she's 0 for 3. And Traska back into the circle, sets and delivers. That pitch is swung on and missed. Frierson was trying to do some damage with that swing. Only 3 homers on the year, but she does have 17 doubles and a triple. It's a pretty good gap power for the Nighthawks with a big bat in the on-deck circle and Finch. The 0-1 delivery here is low and away for ball 1. Playing even at the bag at third. Infield up the middle, playing at normal depth. They play Frierson straight up in the outfield. Slight breeze blowing out here. The 1-1 is outside for ball 2. And so Frierson now ahead in the count. Game 2 of this series scheduled for 12 p.m. tomorrow. The if necessary game 3. And as these series seem to always go to 3 games in the Super Regional between Armstrong and North Georgia, set for 2:30. The 2-1 delivery finds the inside corner there. Frierson couldn't pull the trigger. And the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. First Super Regional between these 2 teams here in Dahlonega. Went to 3 games. Last year went to 3 games. As the pitch here is hit off the end of the bat foul. Harrell able to pick it up, but the backspin on it kept it foul, and so the count even, still at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Promises to be some more good action this weekend. As a 2-2 delivery here on the way. That ball is hit to first, and the catch is made by Reppert for out number 3. So the Nighthawks once again turned away in order. That's 3 straight innings that Traska has been able to do that. We head to the top of the 9th inning. And it's still tied at 2 here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
This is why we love sports. It's in the way they play, free from the pressures and all the money talk. Playing for simply the love of the game, where everyone has a shot at their definition of success on and off the field. This is what we love about sports, and what we can still love about college sports.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
6, 7, 8. Reppert, Coleman, and Weaver due up for Armstrong in the top of the 9th inning. Uncharted territory between these 2 teams as it didn't end in the 8th. So we'll head to the 9th. Only 2 more spots up on that scoreboard in right center, the 9th and the 10th inning. And everything will go crazy after that. First pitch to Smith. By Smith is hitting the air to right center field. That ball will get down and head off the top of the wall and go over for a double. So Reppert able to lead off with a double for Armstrong, and a strong start to the inning for the Pirates as they have a runner on second, nobody out, with this game tied at 2 apiece. So that'll bring the shortstop Coleman to the plate. as a pinch runner, Lindsey Stewart will head out to second. Macy is 0 for 2 with a walk.
Now batting for the Pirates, number 15, Macy Coleman.
So you would assume the Pirates might be bunting here. And the first pitch high for ball 1. Played down 13 sacrifices all year. Coleman has laid down 1. The pitch missed inside for ball 2. And the count 2 balls, no strikes. Natalie Corbin, the leadoff hitter, leads the team with 4 sacrifice hits. Katie Collins with 3, Logan Harrell with 2. As the 2-0 delivery finds his own there for strike 1, an off-speed pitch from Smith. He was having to go, gonna have to go at least 2 extra innings in this ball game, maybe more. Smith stares in, gets the sign, and will deliver. And that pitch just missed for ball 3, must have been low. And the count, 3 balls and a strike. Looks like she's just missing higher, just missing low on most of these pitches, as they've been on, around, or just off of the black of the corner. Time will be called, and Coleman will back out. North Georgia trying to keep the runner at second with 1 away. 3-1 delivery on the way, and low and in for ball 4. So a double and a walk to lead off the inning for the Pirates, and they have runners in a runner in scoring position with nobody out. She'll bring Weaver to the plate, who was 1 for 3 today. Weaver's hit came in the top of the 7th inning. She has a sacrifice this year as well. No sign of a bunt there from Coleman with the runner on second, nobody out though. See if there's a sign of a bunt here, a left-hander at the plate, so could be some trouble if the bunt's a good one. First pitch on the way here, bunt shown, and it's bunted foul down the third base line. Neither team today wanted to lay down a sacrifice bunt. North Georgia only came in with 15, so not too many sacrifices here. The pitch over the plate for strike 2, so Smith able to battle back and get an 0-2 pitch. Weaver, the key hitter in the inning now. And the 0-2 pitch on the way, and that pitch bounced up there for ball 1. Cayman-Tree able to block it up behind the plate. So they're going to force Weaver to put down the bunt and play here, but you would imagine it might be taken off with 2 strikes. And the 1-2 pitch is fouled back to the screen. Had a good hack at it. Outfield playing Weaver at the plate straight up. Normal depth on the infield. The 1-2 delivery here is low and away for ball 2. She's been able to work the count back even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's been Smith who's been able to work out of jams for the most part this afternoon, but having a little bit of trouble here with a double to lead it off and a walk to follow that. 2-2 delivery on the way, and that pitch is hit to second. Deep, going to go to second for 1. Sprague not going to be able to make the turn as couldn't get the ball out of her glove, and a nice slide out there at second by Coleman. But the play will indeed be an out. Coleman didn't think she was out at second, and An appeal will be made to the umpire out in the field, but change might not be taken there. There was a bobble by Sprague, but first instinct, I think it was on the transfer. It wasn't the bobble making the catch. Mike Davenport will bring his infield in. First and third, one away here in the ninth inning. It's seemingly been the last few years that if it's gone to extra innings, it's been Armstrong who's been able to come out on top, but key at bat about to come from a freshman in the series. Tasia Williams gonna face another freshman in this series, Kylie Smith. Williams will have a chance to drive in a run here. And
Number 19, Tasia Williams.
Give her pitcher, Jane Traska, the chance to pick up the win in the bottom of the ninth. The first pitch here by Williams is hit in the air to center field. That's going to get down for a base hit, so Armstrong able to take the lead here in the top of the ninth inning. Able to get the key double to start the inning by Reppert, and now after a fielder's choice, Williams able to come through with her second hit of the ball game. Coming in to score is Reppert.
Number 1, Natalie Corbin.
And now a dangerous time as the lineup will flip. And Natalie Corbin will come to the plate. She's 0 for 4. Infield comes in for the Nighthawks. First pitch just missed the outside corner for ball 1. It's Weaver who heads the second. And the bunt laid down. McSwain gloves, throws to first. Not going to be in time as Corbin able to lay down a picture-perfect bunt. McSwain did everything she could to get to that ball, but it's an infield single on the bunt. The base is loaded with one away for today's most dangerous hitter, Katie Collins, who's 2 for 4 with a couple of homers. And a homer here would do a lot of damage to this North Georgia team. Flew out to right her last time up. That would help bring in another run as well, as a few sprinkles starting to fall here at the hill. First pitch on the way by Smith. Off-speed pitch low for ball 1. As the infield once again in for the Nighthawks, who have fallen behind 3-2 here. And the 1-0 delivery. Finds the outside corner for strike 1. Pitch looked a little bit outside, but Hammondtree able to funnel it back in over the outside corner. So it's a ball and a strike now. The base is full of Pirates, 1 out. 1-1 delivery is low for ball 2. Armstrong trying to add to their 3-2 lead. Taking lead for the first time since the bottom of the third inning. That pitch fouled off, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Collins. So an out here would be a huge momentum swing to North Georgia, but another run could really spell disaster for the Nighthawks, who have had trouble all day hitting Jane Traska. She's only given up 1 earned run so far in the game. The 2-2 delivery is hit in the air, foul territory down the right-hand side, and it will fall foul. So the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Collins at the plate. She's only struck out 11 times and 136 at bats. And the delivery high for ball 3. Nowhere to put her, so Smith's got to put the ball in the zone here. Collins yet to head into a double play this year either. Smith with a crucial full count delivery, and it's popped up foul territory over the Armstrong dugout. And we'll have another key pitch in this inning. It's been the best opportunity for either team to put up multiple runs in an inning. We've had single runs scattered through 9 innings so far in this one. The full count delivery is fouled down the left field line, and Collins was trying to add to her RBI total on the day, which is at 2. Big sigh of relief for Nighthawk fans as this battle between these two players continues. Dangerous hero on deck for Armstrong. Smith back with a 3-2 delivery, and it's hit to third. McSwain able to touch third, but it's a foul ball. They called it foul. So it'll be a foul ball as McSwain made a diving catch. Was able to tag the base, but her throw was rushed coming home. So that would have allowed a run to score, gotten the second out, but instead we'll do another 3-2 pitch over. Still one away, and the delivery on the way here. That ball is hit to third once again. McSwain going to come home for one. That's all they will get. Another little bobble there by Hammondtree, but she's able to hold on for out number 2. Everybody moves up a base. There's 2 away. And the Nighthawks 1 out away from limiting the damage to 1. The aforementioned Logan Harrell will come to the plate 0 for 3. Fly out to right, hit to first unassisted, hit by pitch in the 6th, and a strikeout in the 8th. First pitch inside for ball 1, and Smith nearly put her on base with a hit by pitch there. And the 1-0 delivery. Yeah, check swing, and she went. Not sure if that was a strike call or the call on the check swing. Either way, it's a ball and a strike. And the 1-1. Misses the outside corner there for ball 2. And the count 2 balls and a strike. North Georgia will have 4-5-6 due up in their home half of the 9th. Down a run. Kylie Smith trying to keep it at that here. Behind Harrell 2-1. The delivery is hit in the air to right field. That's going to be down for a base hit. 1 run will score, and Armstrong will bring in another one. So Smith unable to get that out there. Armstrong able to increase the lead 5-2. A couple of runners will come in to score. Headed to third is Corbin, and Harrell with her first hit of the ball game, a couple of RBIs, and the Pirates have exploded for 3 runs in the top of the 9th and lead this one by a 5-2 score. Now the first pitch by Smith to Traska is hit in the air into shallow right, and the success continues as another run will score. Anthony, a strong throw to third, but Armstrong has really blown it open here in the top of the 9th. A bloop hit to right by Jane Traska scores Corbin. And some heads-up base running. Harrell able to go on the pitch, able to advance to third. So runners on the corners, 2 away, and a meeting on the infield called by Finch. Coming in to talk to Smith as Armstrong now have 6 runs on 11 hits, 3 errors committed. North Georgia 2 runs on only 3 hits, haven't committed an error. So North Georgia has really been out-hit in this ball game. Kylie Smith had been able to keep Armstrong off the board for the most part, but the Pirates able to finally break the floodgates open here, put up 4 in the top of the 9th inning. As if things stand, they will win another extra innings game in this series, something North Georgia just has not been able to overcome. Lost in 8 innings earlier in the season, lost in 8 innings to lose a Super Regional last year. They lost in 8 innings in a Super Regional in 2014. 2-1 delivery on the way here. That ball is low for ball 3. So it's 3-1 to Parrish. And the 3-1 here. It's inside. Actually, that's ball 2. The count on the scoreboard was wrong, so 2 balls, no strikes on the designated player for Armstrong, as they have now hit a round in this inning. 2-0 delivery. Inside for ball 3. And Smith now in danger of walking a runner to load the bases once again in this inning. And the 3-0 pitch. Missed inside for ball 4, so it's indeed another walk. Traska will head to first. Excuse me, Traska will head to second. Looks like we'll have a pinch runner for either the runner at first or the runner at second. Instead, it'll actually be Reppert who will come back into the ball game after being pinch run for, earlier in the inning. A chance to do some more damage. Had that double to lead off the inning. North Georgia just trying to get out of this inning as a lot of damage has been done with 2 outs. The first pitch high for ball 1. In fact, 3 of the 4 runs have been scored with 2 outs here in the inning. 1-0 delivery on the way. And that pitch over the heart of the plate for strike 1. So the count even at a ball and a strike. So Reppert is 1 for 4. Had that double, was lifted for a pinch runner, where that pinch runner eventually scored the game leading run for Armstrong. An off-speed pitch swung on and missed there. Nasty one from Smith and a ball and 2 strikes. Reppert awaiting this 1-2 pitch from Smith on the way. That ball is ripped foul down the third baseline. And the 1-2 pitch is hit in the air, foul down the third baseline. That'll get out of play over the North Georgia bullpen. So Reppert able to foul off a pitch there, trying to battle and get another pitch to hit. New wind is picked back up and blowing out for the team leader in homers for Armstrong. 1-2 delivery on the way here, and that ball is hit in the air, foul down the left field line, just out in front of that one. Armstrong looking for hit number 12 as they look to triple up North Georgia in that category here. Quadruple North Georgia in that category. That pitch fouled back to the screen. And still a ball and 2 strikes. That would tell you how amazing a North Georgia win would have been in, say, the 8th inning, as they were being well out hit by Armstrong, but had been able to scrape across the 2 runs. But Pirates able to hold off Nighthawks long enough to put together a good inning, but that inning ends there with a swing and a miss for Reppert in her second at bat of the inning. But Armstrong able to explode for 4 runs. They take a 6-2 lead as we head to the bottom half of the 9th, and it's do or die time with the Nighthawks needing to come up with an extended rally to tie or win game 1 here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Hey, Banks. Have a seat and let me make you uncomfortable. Up those grades, son, or the only position you'll be playing in college is sitting on me. You're still awake? Have a seat on old Mr. Bench. At least your buns will fall asleep.
Is this the one about the high school hotshot who gets benched in college?
Hey, man, T, move down.
It's a tearjerker!
Think of the NCAA as a spirit squad, cheering for student athletes at every big event and every small one. We'd be there in the classroom, at graduation, at their first job interview. Okay, so don't think of us as a spirit squad. Think of us as a mascot. Well, just know we're always there for student athletes.
Jane Traska back on to try to finish this one off against 4, 5, and 6 in the North Georgia lineup, and hasn't really had the no-hitter stuff that she had against Young Harris in the regional last week, but has been really, really good for the Pirates. 8 innings, only given up 3 hits, 2 runs, only one of them earned, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, but more impressive, only 3 flyouts, has been able to get 16 groundouts against this North Georgia lineup. So tells you that she's been hitting her spots, getting a lot of easy ground balls for her infield, which hasn't really done her too many favors in this ball game. They've been a lot better of late, but had some issues settling into this game. A key error in the 4th inning gave the Nighthawks a brief 2-1 lead, which Armstrong would tie the game up in the 6th. Took the lead in the top half of this inning, and 3 outs away from taking game 1 in the series. It's North Georgia who took 2-1 game 1 by a 4-0 score in the Super Regionals last year. Armstrong back in 2014 were able to take game 1 in 8 innings by a 3-2 score here and lost game 2. See what happens as the sun comes out from behind the clouds. The 0-1 delivery to Finch is fouled off down the third base line. And it's no balls, 2 strikes on the Nighthawk first baseman. Finch has a hit in 3 tries. That came back in the 2nd. She was lifted for a pinch hitter pinch runner, who was cut down at 2nd as Kaylin Anthony was unable to get a bunt down. Reached on an error and scored in the 4th. A couple of errors, actually, which allowed her to get to 3rd and grounded out to 3rd in the 6th. It's been Armstrong, who have been a good offensive team all year. Came in as the #1 scoring team of the Peach Belt Conference, been able to outlast North Georgia till that 9th inning when they were able to solve Kylie Smith. That pitch hit to 3rd. Collins to Reppert for out #1. Smith had been able to get out of a couple of jams late in the ball game, but she was unable to get out of that jam in the top of the 9th. Then was able to get to 2 outs with only a run coming across, but after that, Armstrong just able to get a couple of key base hits, including an RBI single by Traska in the circle. First pitch here to Anthony is high and away for ball 1. So when we came into this game, if either team lost, it wouldn't be the end of the world, as they're used to losing their first game. The first pitch popped up. Foul territory, that'll get out of play. North Georgia lost 2-1 to North Greenville in their first game of the regional. Armstrong picking up a loss to Young Harris as well. Lost that game by a 2-1 score as well. So both teams used to losing the first game, so that should raise the stakes even more for game 2 tomorrow, as the 0-1 is ripped into left center field, but a nice running catch by Williams, who got a great jump and was able to use her speed and take an extra base hit away from Anthony, who couldn't have hit the ball any better for North Georgia, but the center fielder for Armstrong able to record only the 4th flyout of the afternoon. 2 up, 2 down, and North Georgia down to their last out, Shelby Hammondtree, who's 0 for 3 with a strikeout and a pair of groundouts to short. So if North Georgia was hoping to put together a little bit of a rally, they've had the wind taken out of their sails here, as Jane Traska has been able to get a couple of outs here to start the inning. And the first pitch here to Hammondtree is low for ball 1. Got Lexi Duncan, Jordan Deep, Anna McSwain later on in the order if a couple of runners are able to reach. Duncan on deck looking for her first hit of the game as well. The 1-0 delivery is pop foul over the screen, and the count will be even at a ball and a strike. It was a hard-fought game all game long. Armstrong, though, able to come up with the key base hits in that top of the 9th inning. And now North Georgia down to their last 2 strikes and their last out in this ball game. Game 2 scheduled for 12 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. And if the result holds, Armstrong will look for the sweep and head to Salem, but North Georgia will be looking to force the if necessary game, which is scheduled for 2:30 tomorrow, if, as the name says, it is necessary. So 2 balls and a strike. Amatree going to step into the box. Traska looks for a 1-2-3 bottom of the 9th. The 2-1 delivery is popped up on the infield. The catch will be made by Reppert, and Traska able to get a 1-2-3 inning indeed of North Georgia, and she's able to pick up the win, hold the Nighthawks to 2 runs, only one of them earned, and shut down this North Georgia offense in Game 1. Armstrong able to pick up the 6-2 win. They do it on 11 hits despite 3 errors. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors for North Georgia. Game 2, as we mentioned, scheduled for 12 p.m. tomorrow, but we'll be right back after a short break as we wrap this one up for you here on the Nighthawk Sports Network.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
This is why we love sports. It's in the way they play, free from the pressures and all the money talk. Playing for simply the love of the game, where everyone has a shot at their definition of success on and off the field. This is what we love about sports, and what we can still love about college sports.
Defining moments. Championship dreams. Share the experience with your family and friends. The 2017 NCAA Division II Softball Championship, May 25th through 29th at Moyer Park in Salem, Virginia. Visit ncaa.com/tickets for your tickets today.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions. With exclusive access.
This would be a great day to play perfect, wouldn't it?
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
And so it's Armstrong State in Game 1 of this 2017 NCAA Southeast Super Regional that picks up the 6-2 win. They get the win from Jane Traska, who moves to 17-7 on the year. Traska went 9 innings, gave up 3 hits, 2 runs, only one of them earned, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, only 5 North Georgia hitters able to make it, or 9 North Georgia base runners able to make it on base in 9 innings. Shows how dominant Traska was. And if we look a little bit further into the stat line, you'll see 17 ground outs, so able to keep the ball on the ground and Normally, whenever you're able to do that with a defense that is number 3 in the Peach Belt Conference, explains why North Georgia was only to amass a total of 5 base runners and 2 runs. The loss goes to Kylie Smith for the Nighthawks. She will move to 31-6 on the year. She went 9 innings, gave up 11 hits, 6 runs, all of them earned, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, was going toe-to-toe with Traska headed into that top of the 9th inning, but Armstrong able to really break it open in that inning. Started off with a double from the first baseman, Hannah Reppert. He was able to double. Pinch runner came in and eventually came around to score on a single from the center fielder. That was Tasia Williams, and from there it was downhill as Armstrong would add 3 more runs with 2 outs in that inning, and it took a 6-2 win for Game 1 of the series. At the plate, Armstrong led first and foremost by Katie Collins, who was able to ensure this game actually went to extra innings with a solo homer in the top of the first to start the scoring, and a solo homer in the top of the 6th. So up until that 9th inning, it was Collins who was shouldering the load for Armstrong. Also having good days at the plate, Jane Traska able to come up with a RBI single with 2 outs later in that inning. Saw a 2 RBI single from Logan Harrell that really changed the complexion of the ball game and really blew it open for Armstrong in that top of the 9th inning. North Georgia, tough day at the plate. Got a leadoff homer from Hannah McSwain in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Got a 2-out RBI single from Kaylin Anthony, but only one other hit came from Jessica Finch. Walk from Jordan Deep and Sydney Sprague as the top 3 hitters in the North Georgia lineup, held to 0 for 11 by Traska. And so it was a tough day at the plate for the Nighthawks, and they'll have a tough one again tomorrow, as North Georgia will have to get a win to tie the game up, and then hope to get a win in the, if necessary, Game 3 to advance to Salem, Virginia, and the championship series. Armstrong only need a win to keep the program alive and head to Salem with a chance for an NCAA title as well. So for all of us here at the Nighthawk Sports Network for Game 1, I'm Thomas Kendrick signing off, as Armstrong able to win this one 6-2, and we'll see you tomorrow at noon for the 2nd game of the series.